Needed, or is it legislation as a press release? It's a way of saying, look at us, we really are very passionate about the NHS. What actual difference would it make?
It makes a huge difference, Nick, because there is a threat to the NHS, which is so critical to all of us. Something
just
that we've
remind
all
us, who's
relied on
responsible
over
for the
the course of
NHS
the
in
last 70
Scotland?
years.
Who's responsible for the NHS in Scotland?
Well, we are.
You are.
We are
You're
responsible for the NHS in Scotland, and thank goodness.
Well, you've missed your waiting time targets, haven't you, Mr. Black? For 2 out of 8 are the only ones that have been met. Is it possible that you'd quite like to talk about the Tories in the NHS because you'd rather not talk about the SNP's record actually running the health service?
I will happily talk about the SNP's record.
Well, am I right that you have only met 2 out of your 8 waiting time targets?
Well, look, at the end of the day, there are areas where we need to make sure that we deliver across all fronts.
Is that a
fact? When you look, but if you, but
independent report just a few days ago suggesting that the numbers simply don't add up. You've got a £1 billion maintenance backlog. The capital budget in NHS Scotland has fallen by more than 60% over the last decade. It seems to me if you were that proud of your record on the NHS, you'd probably talk about it a bit more and not always talk about the Tories who don't actually run the NHS in Scotland.
I make because there is a threat to the NHS, and we don't trust Boris Johnson. We know that from everything he's done over the course of the last few months. We need to make sure that in those trade negotiations, if he is Prime Minister, that he doesn't bargain away the NHS, which is so critical to all of us, something that we've all relied on over the course of the last 70 years.
Who's responsible for the NHS in Scotland?
Well, we are.
You are.
We are
You're
responsible for the NHS in Scotland, and thank goodness.
Well, you've missed your waiting time targets, haven't you, Mr. Black? For 2 out of 8 are the only ones that have been met. Is it possible that you'd quite like to talk about the Tories in the NHS because you'd rather not talk about the SNP's record actually running the health service?
I will happily talk about the SNP's record over the NHS in Scotland, and the fact is, public satisfaction with the NHS in Scotland is higher than it is in England and Wales. Waiting times for A&E has been better in Scotland than any other part of the United Kingdom consistently over the course of the last 4 years. We need to invest in the NHS, we need to make it even better than it is. But I'll tell you what, our record stands very fair comparison with other parts of the United Kingdom.
Well, am I right that you have only met 2 out of your 8 waiting time targets?
Well, look, at the end of the day, there are areas where we need to make sure that we deliver across all fronts.
Is that a
fact?
When you
look, Nick, let me say to you, when you look at cancer treatment, for example, 85% of those that are getting cancer treatment in the NHS in Scotland are satisfied with the treatment they're getting. Yeah. The simple fact is, when I talk to my constituents, when I talk to people throughout Scotland, they recognise that the NHS in Scotland is delivering. Are there areas that we wish to improve upon? Yes, there are. We have an outstanding health secretary in Scotland.
Independent report, wasn't there?